Hey, morning. Just another unscripted one. Initially, I was thinking about starting the uh, this this video channels because I want to have communications with my son because he would like me to do some recording of myself and post it so he can actually spend some time to actually go through it and see what I talk about and what's my view about the world and where did I get my topics from. I mean, sometimes when we talk, we have a lot of different topics to talk about, and why am I having all this thought? And he found it very interesting. He just want to have a kind of topics to resonate with me. However, after posting for several times, I realized that he didn't even click to watch it because I asked him, "Hey, how do you think about the content?" And he's not watching it at all. So I stopped posting it for a while. And I thought to myself that if he's not watching it, then I'm not doing it, because really the point of having such a diary, really it's not a diary, it's an unscripted things that whatever comes to my mind, I'll just talk about it, is to have a kind of resonations with him. But when it comes to the realization that he's not watching it, then I'm not doing it anymore. And by the way, why am I recording it today? Because I thought to myself that sometimes I just want to talk about some random stuff and some what's that called? Things that are pretty random, unscripted. Just want to talk to one to many people, because I didn't expect some views to appear watching the videos, and it actually happened. So I thought, I'll just give it a try and see if I just continue to talk some rubbish, nonsense, will people continue to watch it? But anyway, my son is not watching anymore. I want to talk about work-life balance. Work-life balance. Why would I come up with such an idea is because yesterday I was watching some videos. And there was this guy living in America, and he was talking about work-life balance. And I thought the content is going to talk about how he managed to balance his life and his work, and he managed to continue to create the wealth. Out of my surprise, he was talking about things like burners. So you have all sort of burners. He talked about 4 things, but I cannot remember everything. All I can remember is that he talked about wealth, family, health, and the other one, I can't remember what's that. And to my surprise, he was saying that if you really want to achieve something in your life, you have to think about what you really want to do. Because if for him, his goal is really to achieve some kind of financial freedoms. He eventually achieved it. He achieved 7 figures, which is million. I don't know why people just like to say 7 figures, then you have to do your calculations. Oh, 7 figures, millions. Really, he should just say millions. And how he did it by having no work-life balance. Because initially when he has his kid, the first one, and then come the second one, and then he realized that he has been spending way too much time for his wife and his son. This is not a message for you. You must understand, okay? This is what I have observed. So whether you agree or not, that's a different matter. And what he was talking about, he tried to keep a work-life balance. He was running e-commerce stores, and he was trying to sell some stuff online. And then he realized that as the e-commerce become more successful, because he probably do some advertising and it just grow, and it actually create much more stress because he has children at home, and he would like to spend a lot of his time with his children as well. So the business actually suffered. That's what basically he's trying to say. And he has a lot of stress. So has his wife, because now they don't have balance on both sides. He cannot juggle between being a good father, and he cannot juggle between his business as well. His business suffer. If his children suffer, he is going to lose their youth. And he was thinking about, if losing their youth, that would mean they will have no chance of really having a good communication with them, and the time will be lost. So he initially spent much more time for his kids. but his business suffered. When his business suffered, then he actually have some kind of financial difficulties at points sometimes because the business suffered and it cannot grow. So really, is there any work-life balance? I believe there is. I believe personally there is. There are some people who get some really incredible jobs or career that can generate a lot of good incomes automatically, proactively, and consistently without much effort. But such things is very rare. Very, 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 very rare. So if you're talking about ordinary people, then everyone has to grind, has to hustle for something. So he decided to give up a lot of time on the family at a certain point when the kids are kind of bigger, and he put in a lot of effort into his business, and now the business grow into something. Then he can have much more time for his health, which is very important as well, because he was talking about the psychological health as well as the physical health. And a lot of time, psychological health has a lot to do with physical health. Physical health first, then psychological health comes later. You can be very fit and depressed at the same time, but if you like exercising and if you like sleeping early and you have a very good diet, and also it depends on your environment as well. If you don't have some toxic colleagues or you don't have any toxic partners, that is the worst. And if you don't have any toxic friends, co-workers, or any other places, even from religious places like church or temples or whatever, if you have any toxic people around you, it will create some kind of a negativities to you. All you gotta do, all you will be doing probably is to do self meditations. Hopefully that this is going to go away. It may not, depends on each personality and depends on how toxic the environment is, and depending on how toxic is the event that you have encountered. So everybody, every environment, and every situation varies. Work-life balance. So if do I believe in work-life balance? I think you have to give and take. I think you have to give and take. There are times where you can spend a lot of time with your kids, but there are times where you can't spend a lot of time with your kids. If you're running your own business like a self-employed person, then the chances is that you can spend a lot of time with your kids. But then that would means if you're beginning to start a business, for the first 5 to 7 years, you have to bear in mind that you will have almost no personal time. Think about it this way: if you want to have work-life balance, you're gonna spend a lot of time with your kids. For example, I have 2 kids, by the way, so it's not easy. You have to every time you come back for home, come back to home, they will run to the gate and they will call you, shout you, dad, and they really want to have your attention. They're so happy, and they will be jumping around and want to talk to you, and they have nothing much to talk about, but they kind of want to voice out. They want somebody to hear it, and they want to have fatherly figures to be there and show them that they are being loved. Yeah, so you spend time with them, you talk to them, you ask them what they have learned, and you talk about what you have encountered sometimes, in, of course, on things that they understand, and they try to share each other's life. That's going to take you at least an hour, because when you start talking, more and more things will come up, and then you spend time together for the dinner, you spend time together for the lunch, and if there's any event or performance in the school, you have to stop your work and see them. Watching the performance is going to take a lot of time. Just think about it, because the event itself sometimes will last for 2 or 3 or 4 hours, depending, and the traveling there and traveling back. And before the traveling, you have dressed them up and you bring them there, bring them back, and then maybe a whole morning is gone, or maybe the whole afternoon is gone. Then you have to bring them out for lunch or dinner. When you bring your family out for lunch and dinner, it's not going to be a quick 5 minutes thing, just like what you did for yourself. It's going to be at least 45 minutes to an hour's thing. So you will have a whole day gone. Think about it. So then you would have to probably sacrifice one whole day, or maybe one whole afternoon, or the one whole mornings for such a session. So what if you have some urgent things that you have to deal with? Then it will struggle in your heart whether you should put your efforts to these important urgent customers, or should you attend the things. So I made a lot of choice in my life to actually give my attention to my kids first. And yeah, we actually communicate very well. Even right now, they are teenagers. We are still communicating. And my sons tend to communicate more with the friends right now, because maybe he's going through the puberty. I have no idea, but my daughter is still consistently communicating very much with us. So I feel that when it comes back to the work-life balance, it is really about the effort and the time that you spend for the certain things. And because I spend so much time on my work, there are times that your family will not understand. I'm sometimes talking about my work. They will not understand why is that you are not spending enough time with them, even though you sometimes spend so much time for them. And for some religious gathering, they will still feel that why is that everybody will think that why is that you are still not spending enough time for me or my activities. Things like this will still happen. So if you talk about work-life balance, how much time are you willing to give? For me, my priority is for my family. But then having priority for my family doesn't mean I stop everything not for the work. So I will still have to spend time on the work and some friends gathering as well. I do that as much as I can. Turn out that you will never have enough time. Then, oh yeah, maybe the last one, I think they talk about wealth, health, family. Maybe the last one I cannot remember is your own personal time. What I'm very lacking of is my personal time. Only very recently, for the recent years, I try to spend more time with myself. What do I really want to do? You know what? If you have gone through what I've gone through, you will realize what I'm saying is true, that you do not know how to spend time with yourself anymore. You do not. You want to. You do not. You do not know how to spend time with yourself. You want to have some kind of a conversation with yourself internally, in terms of what you want to do, in terms of what you enjoy, in terms of how you want to enjoy it, in terms of doing something for yourself. For example, if you like singing, then you would think that singing is great. Someday I'm going to do singing, because you don't have time before. You never spend time for yourself, and you never spend money for yourself. Then you are more willing to buy some kind of a birthday gift for your children, your wife, but you are less willing to buy a birthday gift or any gift for yourself. The same thing apply to time. Because you never really spend time for yourself, I am more willing to spend time for my children. I'll fetch them from their school. I'll send them to their friend's party or meeting outside at a complex, and spend time to drive out again to bring them back, and to spend time doing that 4 times a day, because I have 2 children. Sometimes both of them go out to different places, to different schools, to different activities. They even join debates, chorus speakings, rugbies, and so many things. You will feel so automatically by default thinking that this is the worth it time. You do it for them, for my wife, for my friends, for my other people. And when it comes to the time of why don't you spend some time, sing some songs and have it recorded. If it's wrong, re-sing, re-record it until it is more perfect. This, you think, oh, that 2 hours is not worth it. Doing that is not worth it. You're doing it for yourself, it's not worth it. You're buying things for yourself, it's not worth it. I'm trying to learn how to spend time for myself. I'm trying to learn that. Then you, by the way, how's my financial situation right now? Is that I'm not very financially free. I am stable. I can say I'm stable, and I do not. I've surpassed the survival stage, but not to the point of prosperity. I would like to. Let's see, but I really would like to say that work-life balance. If you really want to have work-life balance, you're gonna have nothing being achieved. Right from the start, you have to make a choice. I made a choice for my children because they were very young, and my wife when they were very young. Right now, I'm still prioritizing myself to have more time for my family, and but surprisingly, children are growing up, so they start to have their friends, they have more activities from the school, and eventually they will have more of their time being taken away by outside event activities, friends. Then suddenly you will have more time. Oh yeah, I've been recording quite a lot, so I want to keep it real short right now. Sorry for the short summary. In terms of my work, have you spent a lot of time for your work? Yes, I spend a lot of time for my work. That's why I get sick, physically sick, illness, very frequently. Because I used to be, I'm not expecting any of my friends to watch this. That's why I'm saying these things, because they're gonna judge me. Because I used to be spending a lot of time with my family, and I need to spend a lot of time for my work as well. So I have to work until really late. Nobody understands what's that for, but I work till very late. And Saturday, Sunday, I get myself prepared for some church activities, and on Sunday, I have to run some church activities as well. And at night, I don't get to rest because I have to edit the videos of what was being done in the morning, and then and I have to post it at night. Consistently doing that 7 days. Think about it, 7 days, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Do I have anyone to support me in all this role? Yes. Most of them not very consistent. Some are quite reluctant to do all the things that I've been doing, because they were saying that, oh, because you are more talented in doing things. You know, this is like Tai Chi. If you know what Tai Chi means, pushing things around. But anyway, it has come to a point where I feel very tired, because for the first 3 months, your body can still take it. But after 6 months, your body really can't take it. I get sick every week. I'm having headaches on Monday. That is 100% guarantee. And they will say, this is grace, have grace. And I'm guaranteed. So every Monday, I'll be very sick. And my friends or colleagues, they will say, you look very weak. You are sick every week. No, I'm not weak. I'm just spending too much time on everything else, because I feel that I'm lacking of time. So I get sick every week, once or twice, and for every 2 to 3 months, I will have some quite serious sickness. I get really, really sick. Headache is one of the things that I'm having all the time. There were so many times over 4 or 5 years that I asked myself and I asked my wife, would it be that I will be having migraine forever, because it doesn't seem to go away. You know that feelings of having a cloud covering your head and you can't see things properly. The whole day is just dizzy and you cannot think. I'm not sure if you've ever had it. If you've ever had it, is stress and not enough rest. And not enough sleep. I can't sleep. I have to edit the videos and post it at night, you know? And over the weekend, over the weekdays, if I have extra time that's not for my family or works, I have to spend it for the weekend activities. But you know what I mean. Very busy and sick and nobody help. And sometimes even have some, if you interact with people, there'll be problems. It's just unnecessary. It's gonna have all these things. Okay, I got to cut here.